Patrick, guess what came in the mail today?
Oh, what?
This.
Stick it in!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the M&K Productions Podcast. I'm your host, Mac, joined here as usual by my co-host, Kristen, aka Miss Flamingo. How are you doing today, Kristen?
Doing just lovely. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Or should I do like the old school Wendy Williams when I used to watch her do that? How are you doing?
I know you and my mom like that. That
Mama Mac loves Wendy Williams.
Love is a very loose word. She said like it's more of like, watches it, but I wouldn't say love. That's a very loose word.
All right, we gotta have a conversation. Mom and I gotta have a conversation then about that.
But we're not joined here alone. We are joined here by someone who at first I thought was a first-time guest, but we using my co-host encyclopedia brain because she remembers stuff better than I do. We have not had this man on. Yeah, you're filing. I have to like go through the archives and like we have not had him on. And I get you not. Has it been 2 years since he's been on?
Yeah, I think the last time we had our guest on was back in 2021 when we did.
3 years.
It was like we did this as a practice, or like it was an idea slate on the board, and we haven't done it since. But a fall 2021 preview of upcoming films, and that was the last time he was on.
Oh my goodness.
So but then since then we have so many other guests. We have so many friends that we want to join in on this podcast. So, but right now we have the return.
Yes, our boy David from Ultimate Movie Accounts. Welcome back after a long hiatus. Welcome
back.
Glad
to be back. Yes, thank you. Glad to be back.
And with a remarkable return, because the last time we had you on, you had a different like following account. Now you have like almost 100K people following you at this point. That's huge, man. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
Do you feel like a sense of pressure now, like wanting to put out great content? Because I feel like that even with Mac and I, even though we don't even have the following account like what you have, like, is there a sense of pressure?
Maybe a little bit, but I feel like everyone, no matter what following you have that pressure to, just put the best you can, out there, and hopefully people just enjoy it. So.
And I've been loving your content lately, and that makes me excited wanting to bring you on because you get the coolest PR boxes sent to you. Like I'm seeing it now. We're doing like a Zoom call. I see your Astro City box. I remember that from a couple of years ago when you did that unboxing. I see your A Quiet Place Day One bag. You got some stuff from the Fall Guy, Kinds of Kindness. Like you do really awesome unboxings, including y'all should check out his Despicable Me one where he went to the beach and got the little beach ball. You were set. You were set.
No, I was. Hot Boy Summer, Despicable Summer.
Hot Boy Summer.
Oh my goodness.
So how have things been going?
What, personally or just like, are we keeping...
everything. You want to
everything?
Dish it all out, man.
Well, guys, no, I'm kidding. Recently I got a job. I don't know, but like, so thank you. So I'm going to use that, obviously, so I get consistent income because obviously with Instagram, it's very, all over the place, so hopefully with this, I can, do more things, with my page, content creation, do more things. Like I got accepted to TIFF, Toronto International Film Festival.
Congratulations. You better be going. Are you going?
Yes, yes, most likely I'll be able to go. I don't know how long, if most likely maybe just like 2 days, but at least I'll be there.
Hey, that's even if you go during that weekend, you're in the prime. You're in the prime when everybody's going to be there. So I'm excited. So I hopefully it just opens up more opportunities and so just trying to, expand the page somehow. You're doing great though. Like I said, I'm loving your content and you just keep going, man. I want to talk about your Inside Out event because that's your current profile. So how was that?
It wasn't necessarily an event. Like it was just an early screening and they just had like a photo op. So I did that. And I guess it's I just really like the photos. So that's why it's my profile picture. So
do you love attending those events? Like when they do special like perks every once in a while?
I do, obviously it's content, I'm sure you both can relate, but everywhere you go, everything you do, you're like, is this content for the page? Is it movie related? Hopefully we, can do this. But yeah, with this upcoming week, I'm going to an Alien Romulus bar
Oh,
thing.
that's
So
fun.
yeah, so hopefully that's gonna be cool.
Are you excited for that film?
I am. I like that. The director he's pushing, obviously we're going back to practical effects. So whenever we see a little bit of that, the xenomorph, you just know like it's puppeteered or animatronic, and you're just like, oh, it's so nice.
I got
Yeah.
faith in Fede Alvarez
Yeah.
bringing back the
I
glory of
mean, I
Alien.
don't know. I'm a little hesitant.
Uh-oh. Like again, I'm cautious. With anything new movie, I'm always cautious. But it seems like it's going the right direction at least.
Yeah, because the last Alien one was Prey, and I'm not into the
That wasn't Alien. That
movie.
was Predator.
Predator. I mixed them both up. They both
Alien
worlds do
Covenant.
combine though.
Alien Covenant was the last one in 2017.
Both of their worlds combined, and that's what annoys me. But Fadi, last film that he worked on was The Girl in the Spider's Web. So this is like kind of a long time. I know he just was a producer of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Uh-oh.
That 2022 awful one that we
I haven't
despise
seen it
on
yet.
this
I will never.
podcast.
Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
just
avoid
skip it. Don't have yourself a D like
Yeah.
movie marathon because you will be disappointed. So I will say, out of his best work, I think it's Don't Breathe. But I haven't seen his. I've seen maybe a little bit of his show Calls. That's on Apple TV. So hopefully, I don't have an interest in Alien Romulus. That's what it's called, right?
Yes.
I don't have an interest in it. I never do. My husband is really into aliens, so the Alien universe. He loves the video games. Oh my god, I can't see it, but it's a nice alien creature.
It's a face hugger.
Oh my god, that's cool.
I know. Hopefully, I get to use it for. I'm gonna use it for a skit too. So that's.
Oh yeah, definitely use that. Incorporate that.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're happy to have you, and we're going to talk some great things today. So thank you for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you for having me.
I'm happy to see things are going well for you.
Oh, yes, hopefully.
So Mac, what are we going to talk about today?
Well, we're going to go over some of the D23 stuff that literally happened last night at the time of this recording. So we're dating this recording, so that's okay. And then we're going to go over the new Twisters movies because
finally
it's pretty much it's still in theaters and it's still doing good. So yeah,
very good.
Excited to talk about it. It was a fun film. Was it everything I thought it was gonna be? Like, it exceeded my expectations? Well, we'll talk about it later, but I think we could just jump right into D23 and let's talk about what Disney had to offer for their slate of stuff.
Let's watch a Disney Channel movie. Let's watch a Disney Channel movie. We're gonna watch a Disney Channel movie. Let's watch a Disney Channel movie. Let's watch a Disney Channel movie.
Okay, so we are going to be talking about some of the stuff that happened at D23, aka Disney just unzipping their pants and showing, hey, we got the biggest Johnson in the room.
Your pants.
So we're going to show you everything. It was pretty much Disney saying, yeah, we're like that. We got everything we want. So come at us. And we saw a lot of new stuff I wouldn't say new stuff. A lot of sequels got announced too, and pretty depressing when you think about the only thing we have now new is sequels, and that is pretty depressing. But yeah, a lot of new stuff. Kristen, you said you got some notes about it.
Yes. So first I want to we're going to take a look at the Mashable article that is written by Chance Townsend. And the first thing that they announced, or one of the things that they announced, I want to put this out there. For those who don't know, D23 is basically the Comic-Con for Disney. That's when like a lot of fun stuff, film projects, toys, everything that is announced. They do a legacy showcase. This year, Miley Cyrus is being honored. So, yeah. But hopping into the D23 slideshow, showcase, whatever you want to call it, they did announce Moana 2. That was one thing that they did. And that was already in the works. From what I remember, Lin-Manuel Miranda, I don't think is a part of this one. But don't quote me on that. But yeah, are you both excited about Moana 2, and will you be seeing it?
No, not me.
Ugh.
I'm not really. I wasn't. Moana was fine for me. I just liked the music and the animation, but
Oh.
it just didn't. The movie didn't really do a lot for me, to be honest with you.
That movie made me cry. How Amelia Carvalho, I think that's how you say her name properly. So excuse me, but how far I'll go, I just bawled. Ah, love that scene. Dave, are you excited?
I might be on the same boat with Mac, but it's a very good movie. I enjoyed it when I saw it. Obviously, the music was very catchy. What's the one with the crab monster? Shiny. Like I'm
Yeah.
shiny. Like that was
I
good.
think that's played by Alan Tuck or Tudyk. I think that's how you say his name.
Alan Tudyk.
Alan Tudyk. That's how you
Uh,
say it. He's like always a part of this Disney movies lately.
yeah, he's
Good.
always doing voices. But yeah, I guess I'm excited for Moana 2. I'm yeah. I guess we'll mention it later with the live action. But yeah, I guess, and again, I feel like we have to watch it, because that's our business, to watch it. But
Yeah, that's true.
So most of the returning cast is going to be including Alan and Dwayne Johnson and Amelia. So yeah, next up they announced Snow White and they unveiled a teaser trailer.
It
for
looks
the film
fucking awful.
that stars Rachel Ziegler of
It
West Side
looks
Story
like shit.
and Gal Gadot, better known as Wonder Woman. And you could tell Mac's excitement and my
It
excitement.
looks
It's not too great.
horrible. Like, I'm gonna save my opinion. I want David to go first. When
Yes,
things are
go
up
Oh.
to-
first.
I need to just sit back and
hey,
look.
I'll go quick. Don't worry. I'm in the middle again. It's Snow White, so it's like it's the one that started off for Disney. It's they rich history. It's significant in terms of the film industry. It's very important, and for them, it just so far it looks like any other movie. Unfortunately, the remake, live action remake. So, but with the teaser, it looked a little bit better than I thought it would, and I'm sure they're trying to do their best, but I'm just cautiously optimistic, I guess, in a way. But yeah, it looks okay for now.
I am not impressed at all. I think there's still a sour taste in my mouth on how they unveiled the presentation last time. Rachel and Gal Gadot were at D23, and it just left how the film was presented. It left a sour taste in my mouth, and that's what a lot of people felt. I think when they watched or heard about this news.
Mhm.
So I just want to give a heads up that some of the writers of the film include Greta Gerwig and Erin Cassandra Wilson. So we'll see how Greta's film script translates to the screen, and it's directed by the Amazing Spider-Man 2 director, excuse me, Mark Webb. So take with that information because he's got some interesting films that he's done over the years. So last film he did direct was The Only Boy Living in New York. And this is just his return to
What a return to do a damn live action Snow White. Was like, hey, the last big budget film you did, it wasn't your fault. It was Sony. So how would you like to do a live action version of Snow White where we have a lot of money riding on this? No pressure.
No pressure at all. And this film has been in the works for a while.
It's been delayed
So-
like numerous times too. But listen,
I'm not blaming COVID on it too.
No,
either.
God, no.
No,
This movie- so it's
this
like-
movie had so many problems.
let me get close to the mic real quick. You already know that my opinion for the Disney live action movies are very, very, very.
Yeah, fair.
I say the only good one is the Winnie the Pooh one because it did the Christopher Robin one because it did something different with the story. Everyone other of these live action remakes are bad. Lion King is the worst one because they ruined
Yeah.
one of my favorite ones. And when I saw that doing Snow White, I was like, okay, maybe that could work. But then the press run they started doing saying that the older one, it was just like it's outdated and stuff like that. I'm like, how daft are you to just say, hey, yeah, we're gonna pretty much a film it's part of film history, pretty much in history itself. Like Snow White's the first animated film ever to be nominated for Best Picture, and that's impressive. Like, you know how hard it is to get an animated film nominated Best Picture nowadays? Like, to just say
And the
that.
story is kind of timeless too, so it's it's like interesting to see how they're gonna make it different because it's like a classic romance story and good versus evil, it's like so simple too. It's like, why do you want to make so many changes to it?
To keep it modern for the modern audience.
Oh
So
gosh.
it's like, so I'm like, damn, man, that trailer, man, it looked soulless. That's my thing. It just didn't have any heart to it. I'm just like, I'm not excited for it. Will I probably watch it? Yeah, because I do want to just see what it is. But I'm like, I just saw it. I'm like, this just confirms everything I was worried about. Because I'm like, just stop with these live action remakes. Just give it up. Or if you want to keep doing live action remakes, how about you remake some of the films that didn't work or weren't successful? Like, I don't know, Fantasia, Black Cauldron. I'd love to see a remake of the 1970s Black Hole movie, which is a horror space movie. Like, remake some of the stuff that didn't work. Or even the one live action film I think they could make is Rescuers Down Under. That would actually be awesome. I'd be down for that.
They tried that with Pete's Dragon.
That doesn't count. We don't talk about that. But I just think I'm so over it. And this trailer, I mean, this could be something where the trailer is just not that interesting and the movie's actually great. So we'll see. We'll just see.
What would you like to see as a live action remake from the Disney vault or the universe?
That's a loaded question. But Mac he mentioned the Black Hole, which I love the Black Hole, which is a great movie.
Same.
Unfortunately, it did poor in the box office, but I'm not sure. I can't answer that one.
Okay,
So,
no worries.
sorry about that.
No,
Kristen,
you're all good.
Kristen, we should do a Halloween episode about the Black Hole. It's actually a really good movie.
Maybe we should do that. All right.
Yes.
Keep that in our notes. All right. But if any of y'all want to see Snow White, it's set to hit theaters March 21st, 2025.
It'll probably make money because it's unopposed that month too. So it's gonna do fine at the box office.
Now here's one I'm very nervous about now, even more than ever. D23 gave a first look at Stitch in the live action remake of Lilo and Stitch. First, this was set to be a Disney Plus original. Now they're going to take the gamble and put it out in theaters. And I like the beginning of the teaser that they released where it was Stitch. You can see online, he's like running around like D23 or like Disney's and stuff. And then he like punches, classic Stitch punches the screen. If you watch the original teasers of Stitch, messing around with all the Disney classics, those are just prime, I think. So this is like they're going back to the roots. And the design of Stitch, I don't know if it gives me the feels of like this first Sonic the Hedgehog trailer, but it's like
it's not that bad. Come on,
it's not bad.
It's not that
I'm a
level of
little
bad.
nervous. Like I still think it's cute. I love the fact that they're not making the title a different title. They're still gonna call it Lilo and Stitch. Whatchamacallit, the original Chris Sanders, is returning to voice the beloved character. And I'm excited to see the final result, but I'm still nervous.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, all I can think of is, should I wear my Stitch onesie in the middle of summer to go see this movie, or should I wear my Lilo dress? Because I am such a fan of this property.
You're talking to a fanatic right here. She's literally
an extreme fanatic. There's like, y'all don't know my office, but there's Stitch, a lot of Stitch like around me, and even in like just Stitch. So this movie just means a lot to me. So I'm very, very nervous. So it's a cult classic, but y'all, are you ready for it? And do we need a live action Stitch?
Well, if we're talking about like remaking the original, no. But who knows? Maybe they could have like found a new story with a live action Stitch. But the design looks fine to me. It was not as bad as Sonic. Sonic had like the human eyes and the human teeth and hands. So, but this Stitch looks all right. Yeah. But yeah, again, it's a remake, so I'm not like too excited. But hopefully they do it right.
Yeah,
give them credit too. Where like, it. Remember those like early like those leaks that came out? I don't know if they were legit or not. Of like what Stitch could have looked like. I think there was better.
There was like a statue. Remember
that's what
putting around.
that was the one that was going around, and my one of my friends, she used to work with me at Target. She's a Lilo Stitch fan too, and I just sent her the link for it, and she says, "I'm just hoping it's real. Until I see a trailer, I won't believe it." LOL, you're the second one to send me this so far. I mean, for what it looks like, I think translating Stitch to live action is just almost impossible. So they did the best they could, and it's another thing too that you to bring up that originally, if I'm not mistaken, this was actually supposed to be just on Disney Plus, and
Yeah.
instead this is a theatrical release. So that means they see something that this could be maybe good, because think about it, like I don't think a lot of people thought the original Lilo and Stitch was going to be good, but then it turns out it's like great. So who knows? Maybe this movie would be good. I think the design is, they did the best they could. I think it's just more of seeing how he interacts with the live action people. That's going to be the real test with it.
I think it's how the design of Stitch. I think Chris Sanders is going to be fine. I think he will be, his voice performance and his voice acting will be spot on.
Yeah.
It's just the actions and how the animators and the CGI team put Stitch's actions together.
Yeah.
So, no release date yet as for Lilo and Stitch, but we will move on to The Incredibles 3.
No!
The one thing I was not expecting out of everything to be announced. Yeah, Brad Bird series. We're getting a third one. No further details announced. But it is
Max
noted
sounds
that
like he's loving it.
I know I'm not.
he is so excited. You
It's
can just
such-
tell by his enthusiasm. I should note that The Incredibles 2 was the highest grossing animated film of all time until Inside Out 2 took the throne.
The thing is, Incredibles is my all-time favorite Pixar movie. So when the sequel got announced, I was like, yes. I was 17 when the sequel came out. I was 4 when the first movie came out. So let that sink in with you.
Damn, I was like 10.
I'm
I
probably
know.
gonna be like 26 when the third one comes out. My thing is just like the hype for the second one. We were all like hoping that the second one would be good. Well, it was good, but it wasn't as great as we wanted it to be. Because
Agreed.
that first movie is just absolute cinema. I know that term gets thrown around, but it's legit like
It's timeless cinema.
It's timeless, yeah. And it's like there's so many theories of what the second one could be, and it kind of, the second one just turned into a reverse version of the first one. And I'm just thinking the third one is kind of predictable. It's probably going to be the kids all grown up. Jack Black's gonna be older, and it's going to pass on the next generation. And I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with that. But I'm like,
imagine if Jack just doesn't age.
Then that's a whole nother problem. But I'm just like, I'm so cautious. And there's another sequel too that I'll get into. We'll get into that I'm not really fond of. But like Incredibles 3, I was like, me 4 years ago would have been like, yes, let's go. But like now I'm like, please no more. Just end it with 2. Yeah.
David?
Yeah, I agree. And obviously the first Incredibles is amazing. It's incredible. The second one, a lot of hype, obviously, and I guess we all agree it didn't live up to the to the standards of the first one. Like you mentioned, Mac, it was basically role reversal, just not as funny, not as
it's not as memorable.
Yeah, not as
I
memorable.
think.
Yeah, that's the
especially for all the Pixar films that come out.
So them announcing the third one, it did totally come out of left field. So I was like, whoa, they're doing a third one. But I guess money talks. So
I love what this guy who wrote this article on Mashable, this guy Chance, he's my guy right here, moving into with the next announcement. That is the Toy Story 5 teaser. Nothing special came out of that teaser, but he wrote, speaking of beloved animated Pixar movies that maybe should have ended 2 films ago. Yikes. Love that sentence. And facts. It is announced the plot of Toy Story 5, and that is where Woody, Buzz, and the gang will be fighting to stop their new child from becoming an iPad kid, according to the director, Andrew Stratton.
That was Stanton. Andrew Stanton.
Stanton.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I'm sorry. But yeah, set to hit theaters summer of 2026. What do you all think of the story?
This is literally Wreck-It Ralph 2 breaks the internet when you mention iPad. This is literally like the internet age. And I know that with Toy Story, you're gonna evolve it, but I don't know. I'm so no. Toy Story should have just been gone since 3. I know Rod.
Yeah,
I know
it's fair.
Rod's gonna hate me for this, but dude, no offense. Toy Story 4 is so unnecessary. I know he loves that movie, but Toy Story 4 is
Agreed.
just was like it was fun because I like Keanu was it was like I'm the stuntman, but I'm like this shit just should have.
Keanu should have just had his own movie for that character, if anything.
Yes.
But I love Duke Kaboo. But yeah, agreed with that. I think if anything, this should have been the plot for Toy Story 4. I think, but it would have been too soon, like what you said about the Wreck-It Ralph 2 sequence storyline. David, go ahead.
Oh, well, yeah, again, it does kind of seem kind of late, like we've had, iPads and touchscreen phones and all this for a while now. So for them tackling it now kind of seems like, I guess a little too late, but I do agree, I guess it all should have ended at 3. I love these
Mhm.
characters. So hearing, when 4 was announced, I'm like, oh, cool. But I think, I believe Josh Cooley was the director of the last one. Or it's
I-
not,
Was it
but
Peter Doctor?
it was someone new or
Yeah.
someone, but again, not as memorable, not as great as the first 3. So it's nice that Andrew Stanton is back for this, or if he's doing this one at least, and then but we'll see. Again, I love the characters, so it'd be nice to go back to this world, but hopefully they can actually stick the landing this time.
Yeah, and you're right. Josh Cooley was the director. I thought it was Peter Doctor, but I was wrong with that. But
Kristen,
moving on.
can I take the rest of the way?
Yeah, of course.
All right, perfect. So after Toy Story 5, the inevitable another sequel, we got Frozen 3, y'all. And I it's coming in 2027, which holy crap, that's actually that's a lot. And there's no like other information. We just know there's a teaser. Elsa and Anna were riding a white horse and a brown stag. And their rumor is that after Frozen 3, Frozen 4 is going to come out. So yeah, we're Frozen's not over. Oh my god, it's just, what the hell's
It's the
happening?
film with the Disney princesses that have the most sequels, I must say. I feel like
Yes.
I don't know how I feel about a Frozen 3. I feel like by the time it comes out, or like Frozen 4 comes out, I'll have babies of myself. So I'm
Oh
like,
my god.
think about that, man.
Don't say that. That's gonna make me hit unk status. I'm gonna be 27.
Oh my god. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about Frozen 3. I liked Frozen 2. I thought it was cute, with the story, but the songs weren't as good. So they better step up the songwriting though in this one. So David, are you ready for Frozen 3, or just don't care?
I guess I'm a little bit more. I still haven't even seen 2.
Oh really?
Yeah, I just heard it wasn't as good,
No,
but also
definitely not as good.
I watched the first Frozen and I actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was like, oh, it's great, and then the twists and everything. I'm like, oh, this is cool. The songs are obviously great, but as soon as obviously not as soon as I walked out, but I walked out of the theater and it just became this worldwide phenomena, and I just kind of went like, oh, I'm not gonna join the bandwagon. I'm gonna just play like I hate it. So I just kind of have that persona. But I guess I'll watch Frozen 2 eventually. For Frozen 3, but I'm not like too excited. But I get why they're doing it, and like Mac mentioned, they're gonna they hinted at a 4th one, so I don't know if how soon the 4th one will come out after 3, but
Dang. Alrighties, I just can't stop thinking about a Frozen 4.
yeah.
What's next, Mac?
All right, so we got a 2-for-1 here. First they got a new film called Elio. It's looks like a space movie. It's gonna be with Jonas Breathe. I hope I saw that right. And Zoe Saldana will be joining it, and it's going to come out next year. But the biggest one out of that is that we're finally getting Zootopia 2. And I like the tagline.
Finally.
This says, "Oh look, another sequel. This time it's for the hit Disney film Zootopia." And if you don't know, Zootopia came out in 2016. My God, where the hell is this? It's been almost a decade. And they're adding Oscar winner Ke Kwan from Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yay!
He's gonna be playing a snake named Gary, and this will be hitting theaters Thanksgiving of next year.
I'm not gonna lie, the snake that Ke Kwan is playing, it's so cute, and he's just so cute. He's love
awesome.
Ke Kwan. He just is. It makes me excited about films. So knowing his excitement for Zootopia, it's gonna make me even more excited to see the film. And knowing, Jennifer Goodwin's gonna be back, it just makes me happy. So, David, are you excited?
Wait, what was the first one? That was Elio.
Elio, yeah.
I think I obviously they were talking about it, which I'm surprised they didn't have any like new trailer, new footage, because I think the last trailer came out a year ago. So this has been
Jesus.
in hiatus for a little bit. But I'm not sure what they're doing with Elio, but it's gonna be set in space, so I'm
Okay.
interested. I was thinking about like, is it the only Pixar set in space? But I think Lightyear they did that. But it'd be nice to see the visuals, and hopefully the story is great. And then the second thing that was mentioned was what was it?
It was
Zootopia 2.
Zootopia 2.
Oh, Zootopia 2. Sorry. Yeah, I liked the first one. I enjoyed it. So I guess it'd be cool to return to that world.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, Mac, what's next?
All right, so a Star Wars show that may not suck, unlike the Acolyte.
Yes.
We're gonna get the Skeleton Crew, which has Jude Law, and it's set during the New Republic era. And this is Jude Law's first ever Star Wars thing, so I'm kind of interesting. Which honestly, I feel like he could fit into that universe. So there's that. So this is a show is heavily inspired by classic Steven Spielberg films like E.T. and Hook, and it's going to be on Disney Plus on December 3rd. So this will be the second Disney Star Wars show to be on streaming this year, because Acolyte came out this year and it sucked. I don't care what people think. That show was
Hey.
I haven't watched it. I haven't watched any Star Wars series after like The Mandalorian, the latest season.
David, did you like it?
No, I did not like it very much. And the people that do like it, I guess, hey, kudos to them,
Yeah.
like it's just it's just terrible writing, acting, just everything. So I think I made a comment like anything's better than the Acolyte at this point. So, but the trailer was pretty cool. I liked it. Again, it has those vibes, Spielberg, the Goonies. So and seeing Jude Law, it's great to see him in the Star Wars universe now. So yeah, if it's decent, then I'll be happy.
Mhm.
All right. I just hope Disney, if this turns out bad, I hope Disney realizes then they need to take a break on
Oh, no,
Star
they're not
Wars
taking-
content.
Yeah.
But I say that all the time, and they don't do it.
Yeah.
They're not gonna take a break. This shit makes money. It's gonna be here forever. Next 100 years. But the next one we have is something that's been in development for damn near 4 years, and that's Agatha all along. You guys remember WandaVision?
I love WandaVision.
Yes. Yeah, WandaVision's good. Yeah.
Remember Catherine Hahn as Agatha on that show?
Mac, you don't
Yes.
sound too thrilled again.
Do you remember when it was revealed she was a witch that was controlling everything with Wanda? They had a
Mhm.
fight.
Yeah.
Did you ever want her to have her own spin-off show?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was finally a new trailer, because this show's been like development hell for like the last 4 years. They announced this back in like 2021, I think. It's for the last 3 years. So it's gonna have Catherine Hahn as Agatha, and it's gonna have Joe Locke, Patty LuPone, and my favorite person, actually, I will probably be watching it for, is Aubrey Plaza, because I hope they add her more in the MCU. And this first 2 episodes will come out Disney Plus on September 18th.
It's gonna be a good month in September for TV because we also have the Batman coming out.
The Penguin.
Or the
Mhm.
Penguin, excuse
Mhm.
me. So it'll be a good time for TV, I think, in my opinion.
Yes.
There's some other network television shows I'm excited about, but Agatha All Along is one I'm definitely excited to check out of all the recent Disney shows as of recent, because I didn't watch Echoes yet. I just kind of skipped it, and I thought Loki season 2 was just mid. But I love Ke Kwan in that too. But
Yeah.
David, what do you think of Agatha?
I
Is she
guess,
worthy of a
again,
show?
I guess not, in the big picture of things. But again, I'm still gonna watch it. I try to watch as much Marvel as I can. I still haven't seen. I watched the first episode of Miss Marvel. I haven't finished it. I did see Echo, and that was not that great.
but it was rated R. Don't you want the TVMA rating?
Oh my goodness, I forgot about that.
But yeah, again, I'll probably check it out or try to at least, and then but it looks okay. It looks like they're just gonna be like going down a road and doing like a bunch of side quests to get back to reality
Side
or
quest.
something. So, but we'll see. It could be interesting for visuals and a little Halloween vibes before October.
That's true.
I mean, that's very true. Not a bad time to release it then. So, but yeah, what's next in the Marvel universe, Mac?
We got a couple snippets too for both Daredevil Born Again and the Fantastic Four First Steps. That's the official title of it. So actually when we did our last podcast, 2 podcasts ago before our last one, I didn't get to talk about this one because the Comic-Con was just happening, but they literally played a teaser trailer of the Fantastic Four movie, and oh my god, it looks great. It looks awesome. I was skeptical of the 60s vibes, but I'm like, okay, this can maybe work. And then Pedro Pascal's accent, that's gonna be the new Gambit meme of 2025. And we got our first look at Galactus at the end. And you know, I've been praying for times like this. I am a big Fantastic Four fan. So seeing that we'll actually see Galactus in a damn real role and not a damn cloud for the first time ever is gonna be great. Like, I'm so excited for that. So Fantastic Four is coming out July of next year, and the Daredevil Born Again is actually going to be March of next year. And they just showed some trailers. We got Charlie Cox back as Daredevil. We also got Karen Page, Deborah. We got Vincent D'Onofrio back as Kingpin. And you got a few other people that are coming back as well, too. And my boy, John Bernthal, is coming back as the Punisher. There was worries they weren't going to do it because Disney wanted to be quote unquote safe, but nope, Punisher's coming back. I'm so excited for it. So what do y'all think about Fantastic Four and Daredevil coming out pretty much next year?
I'm excited about Fantastic Four out of everything. Like, I'm still gonna check out Daredevil, but I'm more excited for Fantastic Four.
Let's see, Daredevil, huge fan of the Netflix series. But yeah, it's been in production for a little bit. I think they shot a lot of it, but then they scrapped it all and doing this, in vain, or in the spirit of the Netflix series, because I think they were going a different direction at first, but then obviously now they're going hard R maybe, and visceral, Hell's Kitchen sort of thing. So yeah, excited. John Bernthal was great to see him coming back. Still haven't seen the Punisher series though, but I love
awesome.
the meme, the like no.
Yeah.
So
great series though.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I hopefully try to check it out soon. And then Fantastic Four, super excited. The cast is great. I love, because if you guys know a little bit about me, I love retro sci-fi 60s. So if they're doing a little bit dabbing into a little bit of that, so hopefully I had seen that car flying around in Comic-Con. That was cool too. So
I liked it. It was kind of cute.
Yeah.
It was silly.
And then
Gave
like
me those 70s, 60s vibes of it.
And then you saw a little bit of the costume, and it looks great to me at least. And then so yeah, I'm excited to finally see Fantastic Four enter the MCU, even though it technically it is with all the multiverse stuff now. But yeah,
the one thing I hope Daredevil doesn't do is bring in She-Hulk, because after we saw that.
Oh, I haven't seen She-Hulk yet. So.
Oh, you're not missing much.
Yeah, no,
you're not missing much.
They were banging.
Yeah, I heard. So,
For that, I was like, I liked the scenes when they were together, but them like getting it on, and just like it just seemed like the unlikely pair.
I'm pretty sure Charlie Cox was dead inside when he did that. He's like, I just gotta do this. Series. But dude, can you believe that Fantastic Four, we're actually gonna get like the first comic accurate one since like the 1994 film? Like, let that sink in. It's gonna take almost like, it's always like it comes out
after failed attempts.
Listen, the 2005 one, I will always say that the 2005 one is still like for now the best one.
Yeah.
It's just that chemistry that cast had, and then you can't forget about the masterpiece that is Fan Four Stick.
Oh right. Oh, I completely forgot. Yeah.
Especially the end line. He's like, "We need a team name." He's like, It's fantastic.
Iconic line.
Okay, wait, I got a team name. Nope, that's But no, I'm excited for it. Daredevil, I do like, so we'll see how that goes. Next up, too, Guys, remember when Avatar finally came out 3 years ago?
Good God, you know my hatred for that shit. You know what? You understand my hate. You understand my hate.
We're getting Avatar 3, the first of 4 more sequels. It's going to be Avatar Fire and Ash. It's going to be in December 19th, 2025. And information we have about this film, we got nothing, but we do know that a lot of people are coming back because, Sam Worthington needs work. Respect. Actually, I like it. Let me stop fucking around with it. But yeah, it's coming out again. And yeah, it's going to, hopefully it doesn't get delayed. David, I'll start with you because Kristen hates the Avatar movies, like with a passion.
I don't hate him, but I just wish James Cameron didn't have this weird passion for this world. Like the first one was all right, nothing new, except for obviously the technology, which was great to witness at the time. But now, since we've gotten so much of it, now it's kind of like it's numbing. You're like, it looks great, obviously. A lot of advanced technology, and a lot of people worked hard on it, but it just doesn't look as great as it did. Was it back in 2008, 2009? So
2009, yeah.
But yeah, again, I just don't really care about the characters, and I don't remember much of the second one. I just
Nobody does. Nobody does. Nobody
just
does.
wish
Nobody cares.
James
Why
Cameron
are we
can move
getting
on.
it?
And again, just to hear there's like 4 more, like I don't know. I guess to see the Fire Tribe at this
You
point.
think he's gonna set the actors on fire to get that effect? Or
Oh, you know he would. You know he would.
because it's like that's the reason why the second one got delayed because they're trying to do
Oh,
the
right,
water,
they're all
the
in the
water
water, yeah.
technology. Yeah, so I'm like, are you gonna set them on fire? This because like I feel like each film are gonna be because in the first movie they mentioned like, oh yeah, there's all these different tribes, so like okay, they're probably gonna cover those in all the movies. So the second one was the water people. And I will say the water effects were pretty cool in the second one. I think that it was beautiful, but maybe they'll set them on fire and it'll be actually more awesome. But Kristen, what do you think about
I
Avatar?
don't understand why James Cameron does not have any more creative ideas exploring this dumb world that I don't even care about anymore. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. I'm sorry to be as harsh, but this movie should be called Avatar Fire and Ass. That's what it needs to be. Just get rid of the H and put ass because that's all it is. It's gonna be. Oh, I am so. Why Pandora? I just can't. I can't. I'm not gonna see it. I'm not gonna see it. But oh, is it gonna break box office records again?
Yeah,
No, just don't.
Who knows? It might.
Oh God.
I didn't expect the second one to make so much money, but it did.
No, but he just pushed everybody like.
Well, it's funny.
He does.
The second one, like I think when we said it on the podcast when it was coming out, we're like, we don't know. I said it was probably gonna make money because it's that name recognition, but I was like, okay, it probably won't have a sustained thing, and I was wrong. Didn't it make like $1 billion?
$2 billion, I want to say.
James Cameron's like, fuck you all, I make my money.
Yeah.
Why can't he do like another different sequel? I don't know. Go back to the Terminator. Make that
Terminator's dead.
I know. Just do something else. Do something else, Grandpa.
Just something else.
Do something else.
But he wants to save the environment, guys. It's Avatar.
He can do that with a different film. Literally, go do anyone. Don't even go to Pandora. Go to Saturn. Go to Venus. Go to Mars. Go anywhere but Pandora.
Hey, Sam Worthington needs a job. So
Sam Worthington can go be in another James Cameron movie.
Gods in Egypt not Gods in Egypt. What was that one? Clash of Titans didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
So
I think he was in Ordinary Angels recently. Wasn't he in that?
I think so.
Shit.
He pops up. Listen, this just gives some job security, so almost.
No, that's Alan Richardson. Excuse me. I get the two of them mixed up. They look the same to me. Sorry, Alan. I like you though. I like you more than Sam. Sorry, Sam.
Moving on. Guys, we're getting they're saying it's 2. Technically, actually it's not 2. If you count the Disney Channel original movie, this is the 3rd film in the franchise. We're getting Freaky Friday 2, aka Freakier Friday, and Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan are coming back. And my question is who asked for this?
Us millennials,
not me.
My age, and I'm like,
Kristen, were you really sitting down being like, man, you know what? I really need another Freaky.
No, but my nostalgic self makes me excited. Like my 7-year-old self remembers going to see Freaky Friday on the big screen with my mom, and it was like one of the best days ever. So nostalgia me, if this is like coming almost then like 20 years later. So I feel like sort of nostalgic to it, and I'm excited. But would I love to see Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis back together? Yes, but maybe it could have been for a different film, maybe a different Disney film. But I am going to give it a chance. I am going to see it. I know it's going to hit theaters around uh next year. I'm thinking I
Probably.
could be like next Christmas, but I doubt they're gonna do that. But I don't think it's gonna be a summer release. I don't see it this as a summer release. They want to make big bucks on this. So yeah. I don't know how it's gonna entail, but I know that it's gonna involve Lindsay Lohan having a daughter. So I do like the pictures. I like Jamie Lee Curtis with long hair. You know, she's took the style that her daughter had back when they did the 2000 and was it 2003? Yeah, 2003,
Love it.
film. It's so classic, better than the original. I don't even consider that Disney Channel sequel, whatever it was, spin-off one. I don't care for it, but fine with the title Freakier Friday.
How
We
about
got to review it on. We got to review that film on the podcast though.
How about Freakiest Friday?
Hey, that's the third one. They're saving it for that one.
Shit. What about you, David? Are you excited for Freakier Friday?
Mildly. I don't have that nostalgic value as much as Kristen does. Obviously, it came out while I was growing up and it was popular, but I never. I don't even think I've even watched it all the way through or anything like that. But it's great to have the original cast back, at least the main two leads, and yeah, no, I'm interested, I guess.
The soundtrack better be slamming. That's all I can say. Because I had that soundtrack on CD when I was a kid, and I used to blast that soundtrack like crazy.
And speaking of soundtracks, that can actually lead into the next and last thing that came out of
That's what I was
D23
hinting at.
that I am excited for, because as many as you know, I sing the praises of the Tron series. I love Tron Legacy, underrated. I feel like people just say it's an extended Daft Punk music video, which it is, but it's still a good movie. I've been tracking this. We're getting a third Tron film, Tron Ares. Jeff Bridges is coming back. We're also going to get Evan Peters, Greta Lee, and Jared Leto are going to be in this movie, which I feel like Jared Leto fits into the Tron, which I'm not complaining about at all. But it was announced last night that 9 Inch Nails will be taking the place from Daft Punk, because Daft Punk is no longer together anymore. They're going to be composing the film score, which I'm incredibly excited for, and this will be coming out in October 2025, and I am pumped. I know that there are people like, why is Tron getting a third movie? The other two movies didn't make more of the box office. Well, listen here, motherfucker. Tron is it's literally a cult. I'm in a Facebook group for Tron people, and it's very active and big. And dude, I love Tron. I have the Tron Legacy soundtrack. I think the original film, for its time, has good visuals, good what they worked with, because this is still in that early CGI type stuff. And the new one, the 2010 one, Legacy, is just visually pleasing. And an underrated aspect too is the TV show with Elijah Wood, Tron Uprising, which was a very good show.
Yeah.
Don't really
I forgot about that show.
Great show. And I'm just excited to go back into this world, and seeing how apparently Tron is going to be coming to the real world in this movie. I think that's the next step evolution for it. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah, no, I what do you call it? First Tron I watched was Tron Legacy, and great movie. I watched it when I was young, so I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool. I thought it was really it was just the vibes were great. But obviously it didn't make a lot of money, so unfortunately they didn't like continue with it, until which I'm surprised they're actually moving forward with it. And then I watched the first Tron, I think about a year or two ago, and I loved it because it's classic sci-fi, a little campy, a little cheesy effects. It revolution at the time, but obviously you can see there's like neon lights and everything. But yeah, love the Tron franchise. I'm not part of a Facebook group, unfortunately, but I guess
dedicated.
Hey, that's great,
and that's great. I love that.
I'm excited for Tron Ares. I guess I don't think Joseph Kosinski is returning as director, I believe, which does kind of like but my main complaint though is that Jared Leto is in the lead. I'm not the biggest Jared Leto, like he's great, but I think he's been kind of like trying too hard, trying to be different with his performances. So I'm like, if he just keeps it simple, just you're a leading man, just play a hero, then I guess it could
You
work. But
mean, David, you did not like his SAG-nominated performance in House of Gucci?
hey, I'll say that's his best
Or
performance
his
since
performance in what was it? The one with fucking Denzel Washington.
Oh, the little things.
Little
Little
things. Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
didn't love that nominated performance.
Like that was okay, but Gucci though was I think his best performance since Dallas Buyers Club. But
Oh damn, that's fighting
it
words
was
right there.
it was like it was cartoony, like it made the movie watchable for me because he was just so funny to watch on screen.
He's such
Lit-
a dork.
Literally, the
Yeah.
last great thing I saw him in was probably have to be Blade Order 2049.
Oh yeah.
Well, that is so good.
Just joking, it's Morbius because Morbius is the best one of all
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Come on, he's Dr.
Yeah.
Michael Morbius at your service. But Kristen, what do you think about Tron Ares?
I don't have much as a passion for it as you do, but
Damn you.
I know this is my Freaky Friday. I will say, but I'm not as excited as for Freaky or Friday. But I love your enthusiasm though for
I'm
Tron
just
Ares.
excited, man. Tron is such a great underutilized
I'm just
series.
happy Nine Inch Nails is actually working on the soundtrack for this because
Well, I mean,
they can deliver a
I say-
soundtrack. Let me tell you, I think, oh, their Gone Girl soundtrack. Oh,
If-
that's so good.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't Tron Legacy's soundtrack nominated for an Oscar actually? Because that was early. It won a Grammy. I think it won something.
It had to be not nominated.
Because like if you're following up Daft Punk, you better have like your best stuff available.
Mhm.
Because that soundtrack for Tron Legacy, I think that's the one selling point for that movie is the soundtrack by Daft Punk. In that, like,
Mac, have you been on the Tron ride by any chance?
no, I want to
Oh,
go
yeah,
on.
me
I
neither.
saw it in the theaters. I forgot what I was seeing. My dad's like, check it out. It's like a Tron ride. I was like, I would love to
Yeah.
go to that.
You are correct, Mac. It was nominated for best sound editing.
I think
did
he
not
should have
win.
won. That's man, screw the pictures. They don't know.
They were nominated. It did have several nominations for a Saturn Award, if you want to get that technical.
Okay, I'll count that, but it should have won something. Should have won best video, not video, but best music. But but yeah, that's everything from D23.
I do want to acknowledge one more thing. Going back to Frozen, which I didn't get to mention, that we are getting the musical adaptation, the Broadway musical version, how they did Hamilton on Disney
Mhm.
Plus, set to be released in 2025. So they also announced a Greatest Showman stage adaptation along with Hercules. That's just one more thing I want to announce because
Are we supposed to
the
get the live
Hercules
action
thing-
movie yet? Why are we getting
Probably we'll probably get
we're gonna get it,
Yeah.
but I,
Can I say one thing?
yeah, go.
In the Star Wars, they I guess just show a little bit more footage of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie that's coming out.
Oh,
That
yeah,
I'm
that's right,
actually
yeah.
excited
I'm super excited just to see Grogu on the big screen in IMAX.
for. It's gonna be
and
adorable.
I have faith in Favreau and Filoni, so I hope it's just a great time.
I hope
could be
it's
the-
better than The Lion King.
It could be the
From
one. It
Favreau's
could be the
work.
one. It could be the one thing that can save Star Wars
Yeah,
theaters because
yeah.
that was the one where Rise of Skywalker came out. Everyone's like, "Man, F Star Wars." Then Mandalorian came out, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, this is good!" So it can come
Yeah.
full circle.
And Filoni came on stage. He's like, "We're bringing Star Wars back to the big screen." I'm like, "Yes, it's been since Rise of Skywalker." So I'm excited.
I think that's gonna be better than Rise of
Oh,
Skywalker.
for
So
sure.
I think this is just gonna be pure fun and Pedro seeing any Pedro movie
Mhm.
on the screen is
Yes.
always fun. So yeah, I think that's just about everything besides the Lion King Mufasa
Yeah.
spinoff
Nobody
that nobody cares for.
That's about it. Like, why
That's
are you
about
doing this? I'd rather do a live action Lion King 1.5.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god!
I love that. I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That
Yeah,
is
that was a good
soft.
one.
I have a
And
soft spot for that.
the DVD, the menu system, it was amazing.
It was.
Yes!
I would always
Oh
go
my
back to it and
gosh.
do all that stuff.
Oh, I
It was-
love a good DVD menu.
DVDs
it
used to be
so-
great. Blu-rays are like
The
they're
classic.
lame.
Remember the coming soon thing with the Disney
Yeah.
DVDs?
That
Like coming
voice
soon.
used to freak me out.
Coming
and-
Oh
soon.
yeah.
Well, wait, can I add one more thing about the live
Yeah.
action stuff that before we move on to Twisters? You know what's one film that they actually do that I would love to see? Brother Bear. Brother Bear is such an
Oh
underrated
my god!
animated film that no one really has talked about
That
unless
movie
you're like
made me cry.
I was like, unless
as
you're a Disney,
child.
you're a Disney kid, you had that DVD. I'm like, no one talks about Brother Bear anymore.
My sister had the soundtrack and we used to listen to it and imagine to like an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old listening to Phil Collins. That's so left field from like the 2004 era.
Classic.
Ugh. So yeah, that was D23.
Yeah. And,
Yay!
a lot of stuff coming out. Will they be good? Will they not be good? Only time will tell. But it's just nice to see that we're in a world of just sequels and remakes. So it's just
It was
that's
just
what
a sequel fest.
pretty much, yeah. The Incredibles 3. Please at least be good, for my Christ's sakes. But
I
yeah,
hope everything is good. Let's just be fair.
Yeah.
Let's hope everything
especially
is good.
especially that Elio thing, because I think if Elio is successful, they can maybe go back doing original stuff, because they were like, yeah, Elemental didn't really do well for us, so yeah, we're gonna just keep doing sequels.
Plus, Elemental it wasn't that great, I think. So
Yeah,
I don't even know your thoughts on Elemental, Mac.
I liked it.
Okay, did you like it more than me?
Yeah,
I didn't like it. Probably.
it was, but yeah. All right, so let's move on to the main event. Let's talk about the latest 2024 blockbuster, which is a sequel to the 1996 film we covered last time, Twisters.
Yahoo!
We got something big. Go faster.
Twisters, rated PG-13.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be covering today's movie of the day. Is 2024's Twisters, directed by Lee Isaac Chung, a story by Joseph Kaczynski, and it stars Glenn Powell, Anthony Ramos, Daisy Edgar Jones, Brandon Pera, Martini, and Sasha Lane. And its story follows a group of clashing groups of storm chasers who investigate a tornado outbreak in Oklahoma. And of course, this is the sequel to the 1996 film with Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt. And this takes place in its own little new characters, but it is canon to the overall series. And yeah, we all watched it. We're all going to talk about it. And it is an interesting film, because I'm going to say that when I first saw the trailers for it, I thought it looked terrible. I was not like, I had zero faith in it. I was like, this movie is probably going to be bad. And then I kept watching trailers like, damn, there's something about this that I'm like, it might be good. So like, I finally saw it and it was okay. It was fun. That's all I got for it.
It was just fun.
It was fun.
David, let me know your thoughts real quick before we dive in.
Yeah, I guess when they announced it, it kind of just like, oh, they're gonna do this. And then yeah, so I haven't watched the first Twister yet. Obviously, I watched it before when it came out, but I was like mildly interested, and Glenn Powell, I guess he's having his thing going, so I'm interested. Whatever he does next. Daisy Edgar Jones, she's great. Obviously having Lee Isaac Chung as the director is interesting. I did like Minari, and yeah,
Minari is wonderful.
yeah.
It's so beautiful.
I watched it and I liked it for the most part. Not like the best film. I still obviously prefer the original. But in terms of like modern blockbusters, having like no soul or not living up to expectations or anything, I thought this was part of the good group, in terms, so at least it did that, and it's making money and it's bringing people in the theaters. So I'm always a champion for that.
Yeah. This is one of the films that I can say that is definitely a fun popcorn summer film. And I've been saying that even about The Fall Guy, which I'm also acknowledging your poster in the back. And so I've been kind of telling people, if they want to see Twisters, I'm like, if you miss seeing The Fall Guy, then go catch an action-packed movie like Twisters. And I think it delivers. Because my husband and I watched Twisters. I've seen it. My husband had never seen it. And he was just like, oh, Twister was just okay. He thought Twisters was much better. And in fact, I want to put out there, my husband liked this more than like Furiosa. Wow. I'm putting this out there. And that's as a group here.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. As someone who's like a huge fan of like Mad Max, I was like, wow. Because I love Mad Max, so I was like kind of happy to see he really likes the newest one. It's kind of science is thrown out the window in this film. I think it's like weird stuff. it's like weird science that you're like, okay, you just kind of go along with it. So yeah, I'm happy he liked it. So it was a husband approved film. And
Nice.
yeah, I agreed that I think this is probably one of my favorites. I'm kind of having torn between this film and another film we're going to talk about next week as being like my number 10 spot, because I liked this film and I'll just say it right now. In my top 10, it's either Twisters or Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes.
So
yes.
because they're both
Yeah,
great summer
yeah.
blockbuster films. I'm just not sure which one I've been liking more. I've been kind of going back and forth. So, but I really liked what Lee Isaac Chung did with this film.
Mhm. Yes.
And I love Minari. I do think, though, Minari is a better film.
Yeah, yeah. But it's proof that he
So-
can do both, indie, small.
Exactly.
He could do big blockbusters. So now I'm excited whatever he does next. He didn't ruin, Twister's IP, and he has great ideas. Yeah, I guess I'm a fan now. So
Yeah. Mac, are you familiar with Lee Isaac Chung's work? Did you
I
see
did
Minari?
see Minari, yes. I had to sit my mom down and force her to watch that. And she loved it too. Because I
Oh,
told her, like, you're gonna like this movie, Mom. Like,
Stephen
she-
Yeun is so
did.
freaking good.
because she
in
is a
that
Steven
film.
she's a Stephen Yeun fan as well too. And it is a great movie. I do love it.
Oh.
So I am familiar with his work. So I didn't know he was directing this until I saw the opening credits. I was like, wait a minute. And I put two and two together. I was like, oh, okay. And I thought to myself, like, my first like 10 minutes of the movie, I was like, uh, okay, like that's a jump to go from kind of this indie art house film to a big summer disaster movie. I'm like, I
But
guess
that's like what Garth Edwards did.
I
you know?
mean, what did he do before Godzilla?
Monsters, I believe,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
which was a smaller monster movie.
yeah, like I say, it's still in the realm, but I'm like, what's it like? Minara is like completely different than what Twisters is. Like,
So
that's
I-
wild, but it's impressive what he was able to do. Like, granted he had more money and more stuff to play with, but I
he
think
got that Steven Spielberg money for here.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Are you referring to Godzilla? Wait.
Oh no, I'm
Ellen.
talking about Twisters.
Okay, yeah. He got the
Uh,
Steven Spielberg money for this.
I just think that he did a good job with this because it is kind of, you do have to follow up because the Twisters fans are very gung ho.
They're diehard.
Yeah, they're very ravenous. If you screw this up, they'll come for you. But he did a good job with kind of continuing this new generation of storm chasers, pretty much.
I do want to clarify something that we did note in the last episode when we talked about Twister. You said that Daisy Edgar Jones was going to be the daughter of.
You already said that they weren't, and you told me
Yeah.
no. Yeah.
Okay,
we
yeah.
already
I
did,
just want to
yeah.
clarify that. Yeah, because I wasn't sure. So I just want to clarify that from previous episode. We talked about Glenn Powell. David mentioned that. I really liked Glenn Powell here. But I also want to acknowledge Daisy Edgar Jones because after When the Crawdad Sings, I was really nervous for her career because I was not a fan.
I forgot
of
about that movie.
Yeah, didn't watch
When
it.
the Crawdad, you're not missing much.
Okay.
You're not missing much, honestly. It was such a disappointment. The only good thing to come out of that film was that Taylor Swift song. So, yeah, not impressed. So I'm happy this gave her another shot at another big leading role. What did you all think of her?
I again, it was her movie. Obviously, she's the the lead, so I liked her. I haven't seen Normal People, which everyone praised her performance.
It's
I know.
so stinking good. Oh
I
my
know.
God.
Everyone keeps talking about it, so I'm again, I'm one of those people like I'll give it time. I won't watch it because everyone is just so wrapped up in it. But
It's so good.
But
Her
yeah,
and Paul
yeah,
Mescal.
and Pomp and Scout, yeah.
Mm.
But yeah, she was great. Yeah, and I hope she has a great career, after this.
I really wasn't familiar with her before this. I mean, I kind of seen her around, but she kind of had like a I want to say like a forgettable face, just kind of like, oh, you're that person. Like I remember, I think I first saw her on the War of the Worlds TV show that I was like one of the few Americans to watch. It was on BBC. It was a fun show. I liked it. But I do remember her from the Where the Crawdad Sings, and that really wasn't my thing, so I didn't watch it. And then I heard it was all right. Like people said the book was better. But this was good. She did good in this role. I think the big challenge was like she needed to stand out because I knew Glenn Powell was probably gonna steal the scenes he was in. And like once you're next to Glenn Powell in the movie, you're gonna have to like match his energy because he does have a charismatic side to him. And she did a good job playing like the lead role in that, I'd say.
Well, speaking of upcoming roles, I want to acknowledge that she's going to be starring in a film called On Swift Horses. No one release date yet for it, but she's going to star alongside Jacob Elordi and Will Poulter.
Oh yes, Jacob
And
Elordi from Kissing Booth.
Euphoria.
Oh, whoops, sorry. Lee.
Saltburn.
Yeah,
Oh, and
Saltburn.
Saltburn.
Yes, wasn't he in Kissing Booth?
Yes, he
Yes.
was.
Yeah, that's the one I care about.
Yes, so.
I actually have the book for this, so I am planning on reading that very soon. So I just want to acknowledge that real quick. But yeah, one other character and person I want to acknowledge is Anthony Ramos, who we did talk on the podcast here about previously in the film In the Heights. So this is a nice change of pace for him to see and break out to a action leading film. I know he was in Transformers, but I didn't see the latest Transformers movie. Y'all see that? I think you, Mac. I think you
Yes.
did.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah. So now we get another him in an action role here. So if he wants to keep doing action movies, let him do it. I thought he was good here, and I liked his chemistry with Daisy. But I think the best chemistry here is with Daisy and Glenn here.
That was obviously going to be the big selling point for that because if you have, with Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt in the original, they did have that fun energy with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's going to be hard to match it because, I mentioned before Bill Paxton passed away. So a lot of people were scared that like, oh, they're going to try to make Glenn Powell Bill Paxton, but Glenn Powell himself even said like, I can't do that. I want to make it my own. Like you can't do what Bill did because Bill did such a great job with it. And I think that they really did a good job of kind of just taking the blueprint of the original film and just giving it that new modern spin to it. I'd say just a little like nuances and stuff like that.
Definitely. I think though, do you guys think it was smart that they cut the kissing scene because there was like footage that was later released of Daisy and Glenn kissing, but it was cut from the film?
Remind me, they like I'm assuming
At the end of the film.
are we
we
okay
can
we
spoil because it's
Okay.
almost been a month.
But yeah, at the end of the airport, they didn't kiss, right? Or
Yeah, they didn't
like at all?
kiss.
Not even like a little
No, they're
tiny
like
smooch?
when they see each other,
Yeah.
they're like, yeah,
Oh, okay.
let's go. Let's but they cut the kissing from the film.
Yeah.
But if you look online, they did shoot a kissing scene before the post-credit scene that's shown later on in the film. But well, at the end credits. Yeah. Do you think it was a good idea that they cut it, or what do y'all feel about that? Like, it could have been agreed, like, okay, they could be friends, but obviously there was a great romantic chemistry, even if they didn't work out. So, like, some people were like, "Oh, it's good." They're like, "No, we were waiting for that kiss."
Yeah.
What do y'all think?
I guess it, obviously it would have been. It's always great to see a kiss, but I think if I'm like trying to be in Lee Isaac Chung's head, maybe he's like, it would have been just not necessary. You could just tell they looking at each other. And I think I did really like the final shot because it goes away and it goes into like you see the storm. It was like stormy in the back. I'm like, oh, that's cool. So maybe would have taken away from that little moment, but I'm not gonna lose sleep not seeing them kiss.
Yeah, I agree with David because it's just like another thing too is that would have been a little cliched too. It's like, oh, because we already knew like that was probably gonna be where they were going for the love interest and stuff because it's like two polar opposites and everything. But I think cutting in that is probably back and forth. Probably the studio is like we want or like maybe the studio saying we want it and he's like no, and there had to be meeting in the middle because like I don't know, I think the way that it ended too, I feel like that it leaves it open. So if they do another movie, because he says he wants to do another one, that they can be like that.
They do another.
That can lead up to that to kind of build it up because it's like we just met these characters, and it's like by the end of like 2 hours, 2 minutes, you're telling me, oh, here's a kiss scene. It's like we would know it would be coming. So I'm not gonna. Right. I really don't care. I know people were angry about it, and I'm like, I'm like it's just a fucking movie. Relax. It's like these aren't real. Like relax, guys.
And even him making that big choice. He was about to like leave, but then he obviously goes to the airport to chase after her like the tornadoes.
Classic.
But even that I feel like is probably more an act of love than a kiss, you know.
Mhm. I do want to point out here that Daisy Edgar Jones spoke with Collider. It says, I think it's a Spielberg note, wasn't it? Edgar Jones told Collider about the cut kiss, revealing that the executive producer, Steven Spielberg, so it was Steven, opted for the kiss not to be shown in the movie. She also says, I think it stops the film from being too cliched, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So, I
You
mean,
gotta
it's
listen to Spielberg, you know.
Okay, so yeah,
you
yes,
gotta
yes.
listen to a legend. So there's that. Let's move on to the special effects, because that is what I think kind of drove me from the trailer the most, besides like all the the action scenes that they were delivering, besides how I thought I can't even talk. How attractive I thought Glenn Powell looked in this
Oh,
film.
gee,
I
yeah.
love
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Can't even
I
speak.
love that hat he's rocking. I think he looks
Yeah.
great in this film. So, and I'm putting that out there. But I do want to acknowledge that
Yeehaw.
what are the yeehaw. I do want to acknowledge that what do you all think of the special effects, the tornadoes that we were seeing on the big screen?
Well, there it was funny when I was watching the screening of Twisters. Obviously I don't know, iconic scene with him, walking in the rain.
Yes.
Everyone was
I mean, I don't
silent.
know.
Yeah. But then one person in the audience went like woo, and then everyone started laughing because
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
But special effects wise, I'm not gonna say, I don't think the special effects were bad. I thought it was great. Obviously, it's just I wish there was more of a practical element, Obviously, I think I want to say a lot of it was CGI. I don't know for sure, but watching Twister, the 90s, it was just so great because everything, uh, even though there was CGI, but they did have a lot of practical stuff. So it did feel real, and you felt the stakes, you felt the danger. Here, you just know that it's just a computer, that they're in a, blue screen probably. And I did think, I do think they went location shooting, but obviously I just know that everything was, it's in a computer. So
Yeah, I really liked what they did here, personally speaking. I thought a lot of the scenes felt the high stakes like in danger and impacted them, especially like excuse me, the theater scene that's towards the end of the film.
Mhm.
Pure terrifying for me. Like it made me scared of the tornadoes themselves. So I want to give a lot of credit to them. And also I felt really like scared in the first act where Daisy
Mhm.
loses all of her friends in that scene, and that's just pure
I
terrifying.
think
And she hurts her leg and everything.
that
Do I
was a
think
good.
she was stupid to go out there and do that? Yeah, but
I think
it
that
showed the
scene was
intensity of it.
good because it really does set the stakes of like what she's doing this for too. And it gets like it's a good character building moment, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Mac, what do you think of this?
I
VFX,
I think
CGI,
you
special
can't
effects
beat
here.
the original one because we talked about it last time. Where like for 1996, to like they really look good for that effects. Like it doesn't look like dated or anything. I think they did the best they could, and it actually came out really good for a lot of the what David said does look a little digital. But I think for the weather effects, it did look really good. And I did read they did film on location Oklahoma, so it made it made it better not knowing it's not like a sound stage or something like that, or like fucking
Yeah,
Vancouver or some shit. Like if you're gonna do a film about tornadoes, you gotta film that shit in
real
Oklahoma.
time.
Yeah, you gotta film that
real time.
tornado alley. You better get footage of a real tornado and stuff like that.
Imagine
Like,
they started doing this like during a real tornado.
That would
Realize the
hey,
tongue is like, hey, and as the wind
it-
is blowing, we gotta get Daisy flying.
if Nolan was directing, he
oh yeah,
totally would have.
yeah.
He would have like, there's your tornado, let's go.
He's
like,
gonna
what?
be his own storm chaser.
Yeah, what?
I will say one thing I'm disappointed in is the poster is kind of a little because I like that original poster is kind of
Yeah.
badass, and the fact that like I've been a tornado enthusiast for a while now, and I love watching videos. I'm subscribed to Swiggle Studio. Shout out to him; he's a tornado YouTuber. He talked about actually the tornado in that original poster is actually from a real tornado in Oklahoma, and I was like, that's kind of cool. Yeah, it has that, but like I just think that they could have maybe tried that with something because there has been a lot of tornadoes like since that weekend have been very devastating, especially I think A lot of
Yeah.
2011 was like one of the worst years for tornadoes. They could have used something from that, which would have been cool. But the poster kind of reminds me of I don't know if you remember that movie Into the Storm. Like I swear, like
Yes.
that all 5 people watched, and like it
All
tried to
5
be
people watch.
it tried to be like, it wasn't bad, but it was just like, you know what, your heart was in the right place for trying to be like the new age twisters. It just didn't work.
Yeah, fair. I forgot you follow the tornado twister channels. Did you think going back to Glenn Powell for a quick second, Mac, do you think he served his purpose as a weather chaser YouTube
Oh my
channel
god, yeah.
guy?
Oh my god. Oh my god, yeah. I mean, to the degree of like
He
him being
studied.
a country Oklahoma boy, that there are a lot of storm chasers that have that maverick, no pun intended, because it's Glenn Powell, Top Gun Maverick, but they do have a maverick personality. Because if you're a storm chaser, you have to be charismatic. You don't have to be charismatic. You just have to be knowledgeable and a little charismatic, because you're literally going into these things where it's like you're going into a storm to film it and chase it. And I think that he did a good job of kind of being one of the ones in the film, to be honest with you.
So, going back into a real quick second, I think that the film has a chance of being nominated for a lot of the technical stuff at the Oscars for 2025. Do you all think that for the sound design, or nah?
It definitely has a chance, you know. It not we still have a lot of films coming out, but
Yeah.
but yeah.
Besides, like Dune being obviously like nominated for the sound design, I think this
Yeah.
one has a strong chance for sound editing. I think.
Like I'm sure the studio will try to campaign it. So
One last thing on my notes. The film does not have anything messaging about climate change, which I thought was interesting because, we live in this crisis now where, climate change is a big subject. And I want to say that Lee Isaac Chung explained to CNN that he just wanted to make sure that the movie didn't feel like it was putting any like messaging forward, like with it. He said, I didn't want, I just don't feel like films are meant. Oh my goodness, I can't even say it. Excuse me. I just don't feel like films are meant to be message oriented. So with that, do you all feel like climate change, at least a sentence should have been mentioned, or no, it
No.
just doesn't serve its purpose?
No.
Yeah, I think I figured.
It's fucking
It's-
tornadoes. It doesn't have to be fucking political.
No,
Get
it
the fuck
doesn't.
over yourself. Like,
Yeah.
just because it's like, yeah, it's just like, dude, like, did you see in the original Twisters? Like, man, we gotta talk about, Al Gore was right about this damn climate change. Like, no, it's tornadoes, it's Twisters. It doesn't have to be political. It's a summer
I
blockbuster.
agree.
Get off your fucking high horse. God damn.
Yeah.
But David, your thoughts?
yeah, no, I totally agree. I didn't know Lee Isaac Chung said that, so I have even more respect for him now. But yeah, I don't think, especially a blockbuster, you shouldn't try to have like a political message or anything. You just try to have fun. So I'm glad that if anyone was trying to make them, do any of that, studio or producers, or even now people are like hating the film because it didn't have that, then
Yeah, that was like some people I was saying about the reviews, but I was like, no, this film has fun with it, and it gives me the same vibes as like Top Gun Maverick, where it just wants to go in and just be a fun film.
If you want climate
And,
change, go watch Day After Tomorrow.
Or literally go watch any Al Gore documentary.
Yeah. And it was great watching all the premiere stuff, because obviously they had all the protests, and I just like, they were just doing their thing, and then Glenn Powell,
it was animal rights group actually. It wasn't even
oh yeah,
it wasn't even like climate change. It was so opposite.
So but even still, like, they were just minding their own business, and they're like, don't even interact with them, don't even
they're like, okay,
yeah, it's like,
Like,
reaction is pure.
you're protesting a film about tornadoes, Twisters, which is a summer film. I don't think I'm gonna go to Twisters like, you know what? It made a statement about something, so I need to, I'm like, no, come on, guys, really?
No, it's fair. I think I'm good on my thoughts. Any other thoughts anybody wants to say about Twisters?
I guess we were talking about like, how movies, especially if they're trying to update it for the modern audiences, I thought they did a really good job showing off like, streaming and YouTube and everything. Because usually when you see that stuff, it's kind of, lack for a better word, cringe, or
Yeah.
it's either exaggerated or they're trying to like make it like a negative thing. But here I thought it was a good middle ground, and it was fun to watch. And I'm like, oh, I do that sometimes, and it stayed true to like at least the good side of social media.
Yeah.
And then one thing, if I butcher his name, David Cromsweat, who
Yes.
is obviously our future Superman. It was just nice to see. I think so far I haven't seen him like he's like doing like these not likable characters. So
Yeah.
it's as I'm watching, I'm like, if he does, a good job as Superman, it's gonna be like a nice sort of like 360. He's playing all
Yeah.
these assholes, but then now he's obviously gonna play like the most
Yeah.
good person. So hopefully, he does a great job.
Yeah. All
Fun.
right.
Just fun time. It was a fun
time for
summer
you. Mac?
movie. I still think my favorite summer movie is Fall Guy because it's just perfect for me. But it was probably a close second, third, maybe. Well, I don't know. We'll talk about it more next week when we go over Deadpool Wolverine. But I think Twisters it's a worthy addition, and I'm kind of curious to see if they do a sequel because the ending is kind of open ended. So I do like that. We could maybe get another one of these movies, which I'm okay with. Anything to kind of just keep chasing these storms, I'm down with.
Yeah. They got a team now that's going to be chasing storms. So I say we grade this and rate it. Mac, what do you give this film?
B+.
B+. That's what I gave this, a B+. David.
Oh man, letter grades.
Yeah. Letter grade or number
I'll-
grade, whatever you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, I'm comfortable giving a B+. A round of B pluses.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, y'all. Let us know in the comments about what y'all think of Twisters. Let us know on YouTube or shout us out in an email or message us on Instagram because we will answer and we will check. All right, Mac.
Don't worry,
wanna-
Anthony Ramos is gonna be busy with this and the new Transformers G.I. Joe movie. So he's a busy
I
man
forgot
next
about the
year.
G.I. Joe movie.
I'm fucking hyped.
Yeah, this one's not gonna have Channing Tatum in it,
Well,
right?
no. There's a new addition to it, but I think we should wrap everything up though.
Yeah.
I got nothing else to add. Hey, did you guys see Borderlands yet?
You gotta know. Oh, speaking of Borderlands, and going back to your prize opening, you did a Borderlands unboxing, I think. Or no, you got prizes. I saw
it was
your
just
story.
yeah, it's just my story. If anything, again, I haven't done an unboxing, like a true unboxing, for a while, but it wouldn't have been worth it anyway for this movie. And I
Did
even
you
got
see Borderlands.
no, I even got free tickets, and I gave that away because I didn't want it. I didn't.
I think I saw your story for that.
Yeah,
And
I was giving.
like,
I was personally set, a round of tickets, and I had 3 to give away. But then I was like, I'll just give 4 away. I have no interest. But maybe I'm curious to see how bad it is. But who knows?
Matt, for you to see Borderlands, I feel like you need to see it. I feel like that's.
I don't need to see it because I don't play the games, but I have friends who play it, and I can tell you from when the first screenshots, the first casting, and the first trailer came out, and when I was hearing that I played a little bit of Borderlands 3, and I'm like, okay, this sounds like this is gonna be. First of all, it's PG-13. Borderlands should never be PG-13. This is rated R. Like, you watch any gameplay footage of Borderlands, you know what I'm talking about. And just to see that, like, at the time of this recording, it's Saturday, August 10th, 7:39 p.m. And this is the day after it's come out. It's only made $4 million in its first day.
Damn.
Yeah.
And
And
it's
what,
is for budget's 110 million.
3%? I don't know if it
Yeah.
went even lower.
It,
But
I think
when
so.
I first saw it, it was like
Let me
4%, and then it
let me
went
check.
down to like 3, and then it went down to 0, and then it went back up to 3. So I don't know
Yeah.
who was that positive person and went back up to 3.
There's one to be different, you know.
But unfortunately, it just seems like it's a victim of. I believe they did it was at first it was going to be rated R, but then they cut it up to make it PG-13.
Yeah,
And
they
it's
did.
Eli Roth. How do you do that?
Yeah, and
And then they did. Tim Miller came and did some of the reshoots,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they got rid of the original script writer who worked on Last of Us, Chernobyl.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. There was obviously problematic
production
stuff.
hell for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of like the Justice League
Also, it's sitting at
situation.
currently it's sitting at a 10% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh,
Oh.
damn, it went up.
But a 50% audience score.
Oh, all right.
Interesting. Someone in the audience likes it.
This is the top critic. This is Johnny Olinsky, New York Post. There's hardly any character development or dramatic peaks and valleys in Borderlands to hold that he is interested, even for such a brief runtime. So
Huh.
yeah, if you're a Borderlands fan, let me know that this movie's horse shit. But yeah,
Mac, is that a possible film for us to go over in the future?
I mean, I don't give a fuck. I mean, I really don't. Like, I'm not like I don't have a horse in this fight. I'm just so I told my friends like, so if you want to know, this is what it's like to be an Uncharted fan because this is what we had to do like 2 years ago.
I feel like Uncharted is going to be the Citizen Kane compared to Borderlands.
No, the Hitman movies, the Citizen King compared to Borderlands. I think any video game movie that's come before Borderlands is better. This Borderlands is just sucks. It looks like bad, but I can't wait to see it. But yeah, it's gonna wrap it up. David, thank you for coming on once
Yes,
again.
thank you.
No, thank you for having me.
Woo.
I had a great time.
Where can the good people find you at?
You can follow me on Instagram at Ultimate Movie Count.
Perfect. And links, of course, will be in the description below. We got to get you back on again too.
Yeah, we have to get you back on.
Yes.
We can't be having a 2-year hiatus.
No,
Oh,
we
no,
can't.
yeah,
We
for sure.
can't.
I'm always down.
Bet. All right.
Wait, next episode, real quick. We are talking Deadpool and Wolverine. Exciting, fun. We'll probably spoil it because it's been a while since it's been out.
Yeah, we have the
So
internet.
And they've spoiled it
Obviously,
already.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
internet spoils it, so
because you know
we'll
how
just hop
long
into it.
you know how long I've been waiting for this. Ooh, I'm about to make a name for myself. Yeah.
Max
Hey.
already quoting it. But also we got some special screeners, and if you haven't seen our special interview with Daniel Andre, please go check it out. He is the director behind the latest Lucy Hale film, Running on Empty. Go check that out in theaters as well. Once again, David, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mac, should we say goodbye?
Yep. You've been listening to the M&K Productions Podcast. I'm Mac. This is Kristen, and this is our special guest David, and we'll see you all in the next episode. Peace.
Bye.